Good evening. I'm Draven, and welcome to Open Line. Now, before we get started, I should probably explain something. Normally, I'd have music. Normally, there'd be songs in between segments. Normally, we'd take little breaks and let the music do some of the talking. But tonight, I couldn't find the right songs. Not because they weren't out there, but because they weren't saying the right things. And after spending entirely too much time looking for them, I realized something. Maybe this conversation doesn't need a soundtrack. Maybe this one deserves silence. Because tonight we're talking about people. A lot of people. Some of whom don't exist anymore. Some of whom never existed at all. They were never there. But I'm talking about you and me and all the versions of ourselves we've left behind. You know, I've been thinking about something strange lately. How many times can a person completely change before they're technically somebody else? Seriously, think about it. Because the person I was at 18 isn't here anymore. Not really. The person I was at 25 isn't here anymore either. Neither is the person I was at 30 or 40. They're gone. Not dead, not forgotten, just replaced. And yet somehow they're still me. That's the weird part. We talk about life as if it's one continuous story, but I don't think it is. I think it's chapters, entire eras, entire civilizations rising and falling inside one human being. The kid who thought they knew everything. I mean, come on. At one point, we all thought we figured out life. Or shit, we weren't even thinking about it. The young adult who thought success looked like a certain way. The version of you that fell in love. The version of you that got their heart broken. The version of you that believes something completely different than you believe now. Every one of those people mattered. Every one of those people helped create who you are. But none of them are still driving the car. One day I realized something. We spend a lot of time wondering about, the people we never became, the jobs we didn't take, the cities we didn't move to, the chances we didn't take. But we almost never stop and think about all the people we've already been. I think every one of us carries around a graveyard. Not the scary kind, not a graveyard of former selves. The the kid who wanted to be an astronaut, the teenager who thought they were in love forever, the young adult who had a 10-year plan. I love 10-year plans. I really do. Human beings make 10-year plans like life has agreed to cooperate, right? Life never got the memo. At 18, I knew exactly what my future was going to look like. At 25, I knew exactly what my future was going to look like. At 30, I knew exactly what my future was going to look like. And every one of those people were wrong. Dead wrong. Totally wrong. And honestly, I'm grateful. because some of the best things that ever happened to me weren't part of the plan. Some of those most important people I've ever met weren't part of the plan. Some of the hardest lessons I ever learned definitely, oh my God, definitely were not part of the plan. Life doesn't follow blueprints, life improvises. And maybe that's why we're fascinated by the people we used to be, because they remind us how little we knew and how far we've come in between. But let's talk about the truly embarrassing versions, the ridiculous ones. Everybody has one. I know I do. The versions of you that was absolutely convinced they were going to be rich by 30. The versions that were going to move across the country. The versions that was going to start a band, write a novel, buy a motorcycle, live on a sailboat, become famous. Whatever it was, you believed it. For at least, a little while. But honestly, I love those versions of us, because they remind me that human beings are dreamers. Sometimes unrealistic, but, dreamers all the same. And I'd rather be that than someone who never imagined anything at all. But then there are the people we never became, the alternate versions. Now we got the multiverse and all that, but it's because of the roads not taken. The relationship that almost happened. The move you almost made. The job you almost accepted. The life that existed for one brief moment before you made a different choice. And here's the funny thing. We always assume those people would have been happier, don't we? We imagine the alternate version got everything right, made all the smart decisions, lived the better life, got the big house, the white picket fence says, we were always told we should get as, Gen X. But how do we know? Maybe alternate you is sitting somewhere imagining your life. Maybe they're wondering what would have happened if they'd taken your road. Maybe they're jealous of you. Maybe they're grateful they didn't. We'll never know. And maybe that's okay. Because not every mystery needs solving. We grew up on Columbo and Magnum PI and, all the mystery solvers. Batman, okay? Greatest detective in the world, right? That never existed. But it led us to wonder about the road not taken. Some mysteries just remind us how strange life is. And here's the thought I can't shake tonight. We're so busy thinking about the people we used to be and the people we never became that we forget about the person we're becoming right now. The version of you that existed or exists in the future. The one looking back on tonight. The one remembering this chapter. The one carrying wisdom you haven't earned yet. The one living a life you can't see yet. That person is coming. whether, you know, you're ready or not. And maybe, just maybe, they're going to be grateful for the version of you that's listening right now. Not because you got everything right. Nobody does. Not because you had all the answers. Hell, again, nobody does. Maybe they're grateful because you kept going, because you survived, because you adapted, because you changed, because you became again and again and again. Isn't that the miracle? Not that we grow older, not that we change. The miracle is that we never stop becoming. So tonight, before you go to sleep, take a moment. Think about the people you've been, the ones you loved, the ones you outgrew, the ones who carried the story this far. Give them a little credit, because the main character in your life story has always been you. You got here. All of them got here. And maybe spare a thought for the people you never became. Spare a thought for the moments that you chose a different road. Say a silent prayer. Because maybe those different roads taken, sometimes you think they're the great roads. Maybe those roads would have ended a hell of a lot worse. But you got to give them credit. They got you here. And maybe spare a thought or two, but not the regret. With curiosity, wish them well. Let them go. Because tomorrow belongs to exactly one version of you. The real you. The imperfect you. The unfinished you. The one that is still becoming. Remember that. Every broken road led you right here, right now. And if you're still fighting, I applaud you. I'm Draven. Thank you for spending part of your night here with me. Take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you again soon. Good night.